puts me in and he calls it down and out. I dropped the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Leonard put that joint, Leonard Ferguson, he put that joint right in the middle. Bam, dropped it. I said, so him being a confidence coach, just like we talk about all the time, you know, I mean, skills is one thing, but confidence is something else.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, do it again. The very next play, he called the same play because he saw, you know, how I was making separation on the DB. So he called it, and I caught it right on the sideline. But I'm like, y'all still got like a step. So I'm like, either run him over, run out of bounds, or whatever. So I did a spin move on him.
Yeah.
So he misses, and I literally ran crossfield to the other sideline, and then so it was like 100-yard run. Y'all never been so tired of my life. Never been so tired of my life. 50 yards across, and never 40 or 50 down the field for the touchdown. I said, man, oh man.
Hold up, one time we playing against Pass. This is our senior year, playing against Pass.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, Artsville, yeah.
They kicked that thing off. They kicked that thing off to you, right?
Yeah.
Return. Yeah. Now you bringing it back. I'm coming back for a check back. I took 2 or 3 people out.
That ref should have never called that, yo. They ain't had nothing to do with it, yo.
They had nothing to do with it. I was like, oh, that touchdown right there hurt us. Cause I'm like, oh, we if they count that touchdown right there, we win that game. Cause that was a momentum play and everything.
Yo, matter of fact, I'm gonna switch roles for like a second because I've been waiting to say this for a long time. I'm gonna switch roles for a second. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell people about this right here, right? Now, there was a time when, of course, when the late great Coach Pompey was, you know, the football coach and the basketball coach. Mm-hmm. So there was a time when basketball players played football.
Right.
Right. Tez, I don't need you to say nothing on this. I'm giving you your flowers now, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now. When you came and you played and you was at that middle linebacker slot, I swear to God, it was like that number 11 was just looking like, yo, this is Tommy reincarnated. And I'm telling people out there, yo, he was smacking niggas. And I'm just like, oh, why the fuck he ain't play with us all along? You know what I'm saying?
Man, people don't think about. Yeah, people don't think I really played football. Like, honestly, I got 3 scholarships that year on football, but I didn't even know Coach Eaton told me this. He told me this like in the springtime. But I'm like, me not having that guidance to really understand that you're a prototypical football player, basketball player. I knew at Dunbar I wasn't going to NBA because I had my knees felt at 15 and 16. You see what I'm saying?
Got you.
But yeah, that game was crazy, man.
Yo,
I appreciate the love.
I remember, you know, like the first time like I seen you hit for real. I'm just like, yo, who want to get hit like that continuously? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so just saying like how mobile you were, clearly you got the hand-eye coordination, you know, kind of going down and stuff like that. But you know, I think they was trying to apply some certain rules. You know what I mean? Yo, Coach Badham's still my man to this day. I still talk to him and everything like that. Like, damn, I wish he would have let Tez come out there with us and just finish the season out. You know what I'm saying?
You know what it was? Yeah. This is a side note before we keep it pushing. This is a side note. I went to summer practice and I ain't even supposed to go. Duty, like, don't go, don't play football. I'm like, we got another tournament. We had the Sunny Hill tournament, something in Philadelphia. So I'm like, no, because last year I couldn't play. Last year I couldn't play because I transferred in too late. So I'm like, I'm playing football this year. I go to summer practice. Alvin ran like a 4-1, 4-2, but sorry as hell on the football field. We get in the pit. We in the pit because it's raining. It's raining this day. So at this time, I know Stan and some of the players like, man, this Ted's playing. He don't really know how to play. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna show them that, oh, this shit is for real. Don't play with me. Look at me just like y'all look at each other. And man, Alvin go, he picks up the height. I mean, you know the shit. We both get up. He ain't even try to run me over. He runs straight to the ground. I'm trying to smack his ass, and his helmet hit my shoulder just before the shot pads and all that. So I'm like, listen here, Stan, my joint is messed up. So he like, so then afterwards we gotta do push up. the end of practice. I'm doing push. I'm trying to do the push up, but I'm like, nah, I can't even do the push up. This is a whole different. Not really even thinking like, yo, your shoulder not even in right now.
Wow.
I tell him again. He thinking like I'm playing or yeah. I was like, man, this ain't hard. This ain't hard work. But my shoulder's messed up. Oh, yeah. If your shoulder messed up, you must don't want to be. Hold up, man. You ain't talking crazy though. You know.
Right.
So I told Coach Brad, I said, you know, I wanted to play, but yeah, like I'm lying or something like that. Then Coach Brad was like, hold up, I'm gonna go talk to him. Then he came back to me. You better not go up there and you playing with us. So I said, all right. So that's why I played JV football that year.
Yeah.
And
damn.
Then the next year, Coach Eaton got the head coach, and so it was like, all right, I'm gonna go play with Coach Eaton. You know what I'm saying? You know, Coach Eaton everybody love Coach Eaton.
Yeah, man.
That's just how that went.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, and yeah. Like I said, that Patterson game was, that was something. That was a thing right there for sure.
Now, what about that City game? All week long. So we about to match up with Brian Johnson. Is that the Warren? We played them down at Utz also.
Yeah. He and I put some numbers up that night.
Yes,
we definitely did. We definitely put some numbers up. And it was crazy because I guess the whole time down there, like, because I only beat City once in my whole high school career. You know what I'm saying? And I think to your point about the whole leadership thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, they may have known that collectively there may have not been as much talent as we did.
Mm-hmm.
But their small role player guys just did enough just to be like, all right, well, let me chip in right here. You know what I'm saying? Because just like Coach Badham used to tell us all the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, they playing what's, teams are playing what's on our chest.
Right.
I never forget, when Coach Badham used to say that, man, and I can't wait to see that damn episode you did with Fest too, because that's gonna be, man,
crazy. That's gonna be crazy.
Hey, listen, look. Speaking of '97, my football season was definitely cool. You know what I'm saying? But man, shit.
Come on, we can get into that. Okay. Listen here, people. We just now gave you his football side, because now Chris played basketball. He was on our team on that national team. Talk to the people a little bit. Talk to the people. Just get a little bit about the basketball that you played.
Yeah, so
that Dunbar and that Cecil Kirk.
Yeah, so once I got that call from Coach Dotson, like, to me it was like, man, like this about to be a game changer. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, like, just all the guys that was down there at Cecil, we was all looking up to KB, Mike King, and all them guys. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Pooh was like that legendary story to me. You know what I'm saying? That's like, I mean, just so silky and fluent with it. I mean, just what he was about 6'4", about like a skinny bean pole, but just lucid with it. And honestly, when we used to look at and play with Reggie Bryant, y'all, same thing. You would just see just like it was like listening to like a jazz tune or something. Looking at guys like that play, because they were so fluid with it. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, those trips up to Vermont back in the day, and I think playing in that Matchbox gym built something mentality wise, brotherhood wise, you know what I mean? And we didn't need nothing fancy, you know what I'm saying? And then by the time we go to the Easter tournaments and everything, everybody knew what it was, you know what I mean? Like, you better not be a church team playing against us, because we're gonna probably beat you by like 30 or 40. You feel me?
Yeah.
And so played basketball at Poly JV freshman year, sophomore year. We had a few highlights there, because actually, and there's another connection story too. Freshman year at Poly, played basketball. It was me, Sam, Dominic, my man Jamil was on that team. So and a lot of people was like, oh, like you and Sam Brandon, like y'all know each other. It's like we
Mm-hmm.
play basketball. We beat Southern's JV team. You couldn't tell us nothing. You could not tell us nothing. Cause you knew who was on that varsity team. You know what I'm saying? 95? Shit. Hey, listen, right? Man, Zeke and all them guys had it. They had it, man. I mean, that whole team was just stacked and loaded. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, then coming down to Dunbar and everything like that. I mean, I already knew what it was. Like I'm a football guy. I can play basketball, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But just seeing the talent on that team, you Fest, uh, Fug, shit, D Jones, Tucker, Larry Tucker,
Tone
what,
Tone,
Tone
R.I.P.
Tone,
Tone.
R.I.P. to him, R.I.P. to him for sure. Shanga was,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So me,
Ah,
Shanga, and Sean used to be on the bench, right? And I get in there and put my little Iman Shumpert numbers up. You know what I'm saying? If it was enough time, like I said, I was like, all I want. And Dipper used to have me dying laughing. He was like, "Hey, Chris Barnes, you always end up with like 4 or 6 points, yo." I was like, "Yeah, I just want to make the pick, but that's it." You know what I'm saying?
it was like when CB get the game, they were like, everybody wanted to throw you an alley. Because he knew you could
Yo,
jump. Like, throw it up. You
yo,
about to get this man killed. Because you'll try it, though.
man. Hey, you know what? You know what's funny? The first time, and I missed it when we played. Was our first game junior year? Was that against Southern at home? I want to say.
I'm not sure. But I don't know if
Man,
that's our
man,
first game, but I know we played them at home, though.
right. So we played them at home. Y'all had already, did y'all thing, whatever, right? Because me and oh my gosh, why is my name escaping me? Point guard from Latrobe Project. You know what I'm
Kenny?
talking about. Kenny,
Sean?
no, Kenny,
Kenny.
Kenny Purnell. So he comes in, drives right.
No, Kenny Minor, my bad. Kenny Minor.
No, it was Purnell.
It was Purnell?
Yeah, Minor was after me,
Kenny ain't
whatever.
played for us that year.
He ain't never played varsity.
Not down Dunbar. Because remember the water fountain incident?
Yeah. I'm
And
trying
then
to
he
remember what
transferred.
guard it was then.
It was even, I want to say it's even probably Sean Hurst, because Sean, they moved him up. I think,
Sean. Yeah, Sean was on. It was probably Sean then. This whole
yeah,
time I kept
from
thinking it was
Murphy
Kenny.
Holmes. It was either Sean or Kenny Minor. And matter of fact,
Okay.
Kenny Minor played, I think, I think he was on JV that year, because that might have been his freshman year.
Hold on, yo. I thought I sent you a picture of our team picture that year.
Yeah, that was Sean then, because Sean on here. That's Sean.
Oh, I thought Kenny was in that picture for some reason. Okay, all right, yeah. So I guess it was Sean then. So Sean get in, drive, and he go baseline, but Zeke is coming down right in the bucket right here, right.
Yeah.
So he looking like, nah, I ain't about to get my shit put on a glass. So instead of like going up for a layup, which is look like he's about to do, yo, kick me a pass. I cocked this bitch back like this, and Zeke right in front of me. Yo, I never forget Zeke. I didn't know he did this. He would poke you.
Yeah.
He took his finger and poked me in the stomach, so it made me kind of like this right quick, and I end up hitting the back iron on the fucking rim. If I would have threw that shit down, yo,
yeah, because you be
but
having
yeah,
the crowd too. You be having the crowd too. If you didn't,
shit. If I did that, man, but that was such a legendary year. Looking at what y'all did, and like I said, like for me, that slam dunk to the beach thing. That's when I was just like, damn, like this. I mean, and same thing. When you talk to football guys that played, they was like, yo, I was happy to get on the floor like junior year, senior year, maybe. I'm like, no, I see what this is.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Because I'm like, but again, this is like, yo, this is what y'all do.
right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a role player on this team, just like when we played City, and I think Fug fouled out or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Them refs was doing crazy that game.
You tell when they say feed, you talking about that?
Hey, yo, and that's Fest's fault. That's Fest's fault, yo, for making us wear them felines, yo. We wore them felines down there, man. Cause yo, we had the pennies that year. We broke the pennies out when we was at slam dunk to the beach.
No, but I think we had to wear them. We had to wear them because we had three. It was because we had to pick, or we had to decide what shoes we were gonna go with. So Fila gave us some tennis, Nike gave us some tennis, and Fila, Nike, and Adidas. I think it was Adidas. But we had to wear because we only wore them once. We only wore them that first half, and then when Sydney, they killed me. They cracked on this so hard.
In the layup line, yo, fees, in the layup line, yo. We like for real. And Fug, I think Fug fouled out. And he gotta be like one of the coolest teammates ever. You know what I'm saying? Guys like you and him was just like, y'all wasn't never looking at yourselves as like, yo, we the stars of this. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all just wanted to have fun with everybody, crack jokes, and just keep it pushing, man. And I had a few more points that game. You know what I mean? And like I said, man, that slam dunk to the beach thing was just legendary, man. Playing against Dominguez and Tayshaun Prince, Tyson Chandler on that team. Who was the team from Jersey? Well, Al Harrington. You know what I'm saying? He got busy on us. He got busy.
He beat Dominguez was number one. They were the number one team in the country that year.
Yep.
Lost.
Yep.
He played St. Edwards. They was number 7 at the time from Cincinnati. They had a big boy, Sam Clancy, went to USC, and they had a guard that went to Cincinnati. He went to Cincinnati with DJ and Kenya Martin and them, and we knocked them off and lost in the chip. The Big Al, Jamal Brown and Larry Tucker know all about that baseline.
Hey, with the came baseline with the, I was like, God damn. But I'm gonna tell you, man, like I said, this, that game right there, just with the whole Dominguez thing, and like I said, man, it's we come from a city where our big men are 6'6", 6'8", 6'9", and everything. But seeing that, it was like, oh shit. But like I said, it just came down to who wanted it more at that time. You know what I mean? The refs wasn't being biased. We just happened to win. But we was all happy that we won.
Yeah.
Whether you got no minutes or if you got all the minutes, you know what I'm saying? We was all happy that we was a part of that. You know what I mean? So
that's what I love about sports. Is a brotherhood that don't be broken. And so a lot of times I like to do with this platform, you know what I'm saying, basketball and football, because they're the sports that I played. I like for people to reminisce and go back and talk. Oh, they kids. I get this a lot now. People, kids. I'm posting things and the kids didn't know, or they didn't believe their parents did what they did. So I done got and I tell people all the time, I go above and beyond for you with that cash app. But what I'm doing right now for some of y'all kids, and I ain't gonna charge no kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going. But I done gave about like 4 or 5 articles. Oh, this is your dad. This is it. Oh, so it's good for everybody. So they don't. Now kids think we just ain't play football or basketball. Oh, they think it's when we played this, we was ancient. And it's just like, no, the game is still a game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's still
the game don't change. The game don't change at all. And you know what? The craziest part is, I run into some people at work, and I never forget. I ran into a guy, and we kept looking at each other like, "Yo, I think you look familiar." He ended up playing in the All-Star game back in 1991, and I ended up calling. My brother was like, "Hey, look, go down to the basement, pull up someone, so and so," and gave him the picture, man. And he damn near let it out. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, "Dude, I'm 47 years old. I've been trying to tell my sons for years." And I was like, I can call Coach Rent up anytime, you know what I'm saying? And just be like, woo, woo, woo. And, kids in their 20s now, not knowing, what their parents did and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, this all for you. It's nothing but a photo album, but it was just some missing pictures. That's it. Here you go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. People need to know that. People need to know all that stuff. Yeah, man. So, yeah, stuff. Like I said, I ain't got no complaints with how high school went out. And meet some of the best people and teammates that I've ever met. In life, and my collegiate teammates. I still keep in touch with them to this day, every day.
Hold
You know
up,
what I'm
because
saying?
that's where we going next. We about
Okay.
to transform up into you. Now you leaving Dunbar, and now you back. What they call them? Polly worms,
Weenies.
weenie.
Weenies. Yeah, the weenies. Yeah.
Now tell me what you. Why did you sign to Boston College?
That was the first school that had reached out. And man, I used to get damn near choked up when I talked about this guy. He's down at William and Mary now, Coach Mike London.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down, one of the best human beings I ever met in my motherfucking life. Ever.
Speak on.
Ever.
Speak on.
Uh man, so I still got his recruiting letters and stuff like that. Still got his recruiting letters and stuff that he would write handwritten, and all that stuff. We want you here, you belong here. And I already went to the Michigan camp, put the numbers down. Junior year, I'd already gotten, offered the full ride, but the leading up into that, we played basketball season junior year. We played. I can't remember who our playoff run was, but I want to say it's like the quarterfinals, semi-quarterfinals, or something like that, right? And it was a few dudes on the team that probably had cars and stuff. So on a daily basis, I'm either taking Leonard Ferguson home, Shanger home, AB, Arnold Bowie home. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? That's another one. AB, right? So I took AB home, and remember how Coach Badham had us dress up game days and everything like that. So I'm coming down Greenmount. I'm coming down Caroline. I'm about to, bust a turn on Biddle, drop AB off, police off, right? So I'm like, well, shit. I mean, he lives right here, right? So I just pulled over right in front of his house.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, shirt and tie. So he was like, license, registration, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He was like, no, matter of fact, he's like, get out the car. The first thing he said was, get out the car. License, registration, get out the car. So of course I'm reaching.
I'll be back.
Yeah. So pull up in front of AB house. You know what I'm saying? Get pulled over. Cop get to the car. He was like, license, registration. He was like, get out the car, right? And I'm gonna pay like, license, registration and get out the car. So I was like, fuck, I'm supposed to do first. So I'm gonna pay so I'm looking at him like, all right, cool. Literally, we're right in front of AB's house. All he gotta do is open the door and walk upstairs. He in his house.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm reaching for the seatbelt, I'm kind of looking back like, I don't really know. I'm reaching for the seatbelt. By the time I turned back around, that motherfucker was like that. Yo had that bitch up to my nose. You know what I'm saying? And he had that motherfucker up to my nose and shit. He was like, nigga, he said, don't you ever reach for your dip when I tell you get out the car. I'm like, how the fuck else am I supposed to get out the car if I don't take my seatbelt off and shit? So, you know what I mean? Take a strap down. So he already got me like this now. He reached inside, boom, snatching up, bam. So he threw me up against the car and shit. And you know what I'm saying? He just, just doing what he's doing on a harassment tip right there.
Crazy.
Just sitting there froze. And I never forget that next day in the cafeteria, he was like, yo, CB, I thought your brains was gonna be all over my lap, nigga. And I was just like, yeah, me too. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And I remember I reached out to, because everybody had got involved by then, like Bob Wade, because we was leaving the school event, so you report it and everything like that. Ain't shit happening, right? But I remember I was talking to Coach London about it, and Coach London was like, and they talked about this when he was the head coach at Richmond when they won that national championship back in 05, 06, I want to say. They won that national football championship.
Mm-hmm.
Coach London was not involved in football for a while. He was actually like he was a state trooper.
Okay.
And he was off duty, but still had a service pistol on him. And he was like, man, I was just going to the convenience store, get some Doritos, some chips, just doing some fat boy type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. He said he walks in and the dude just straight started holding up the store, and he pretty much caught him on the way out. So he's trying to escalate, like, hey, all right, hey, calm down. Hey, like, what's going on? And he said the dude pulled a revolver and put it right in the middle of Coach London's chest. And that bitch 6 times, click, 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 click. Nothing happened.
Whoa.
And he said, listen, anything could have happened when that gun put the gun up to you. Not just like to your person. He put that joint up your nose, right?
Right.
Because I still remember like the smell of the barrel of that gun, and I was just like, damn, you know what I mean? And he was like, listen, I realized that day in that convenience store that my life had purpose, and I returned back to coaching football after that. Because he was like, not that I didn't love, a cop, being a community person, but he was like, I knew where my passion was, I knew where my heart was. And he was like, I knew from that day my life had purpose. He said, let me tell you something right now. The fact that anything could have gone off, could have happened. Because they Glocks, right? Them just go off. If you smack them, they can go off. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. He's like, the fact that you're still here today, you can tell me about that story, just realize your life got purpose from this moment on, whether you come to BC or not. And this is a black man telling you this. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so if you look at what he's done from going to BC, being the first black head coach at UVA, winning that national championship at University of Richmond, being Howard's coach, Cam Newton, little brother, was his quarterback. And now he's at William and Mary. He just hit me up for Christmas, big ass Christmas tree. Happy. So Coach London gave me that confidence, and he also sent me something, and I still got it to this day, where he said 99.8% of African American athletes graduate.
Mm-hmm.
My freshman class, Will Green, who ended up going to the Browns, and we had another guy that I still keep in touch with, a guy named Will Poole.
Okay.
He got excused from the university, and within 18 months, ended up playing with Reggie Bush and them, winning that national championship at USC.
Wow.
He's still out in LA, rap to him and all that stuff. So it was those kind of things that made me say, like, yo, a black man is telling me this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So when the other schools came in, like the Notre Dames, Georgia Tech, VTech, it was like, yeah, that's cool. But it was just that relationship that Coach
different.
London.
Yeah, it felt different. Felt like family already.
That's why I like it. I mean, if anybody does see this, if you're coaching, you're recruiting, or you're doing anything, like that, you just got to understand that, when you come into somebody's living room, virtually or physically, how you present yourself and how you connect with that kid means
everything.
I mean, that's over 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I still talk to Coach like, hey, Coach London, what's going on? You know what I mean? Schools he didn't coach. I mean, thousands of kids he's coached since then.
Yeah.
So that's why I ended up going to BC. I'm gonna open up my shades a little bit, brighten it up a little bit. Yeah. This shit is dark.
Well, we back at it. So now you go to did you go in the spring? Did you leave to go to Boston in the spring early, or did you go
right
up there?
After we graduated. Yeah, so right after we graduated, turned 18, I was like, yeah, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Just wanted to be out, experience something new.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't really like a homesick kind of kid. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, I'm ready. I'm ready, fly the nuts, man, and be up out of here. So
right.
Yeah, they have a pre-college program for, they basically look at your profile, you know what I'm saying, and just be like, all right, he comes from an inner city school, a public school at that, you know what I'm saying? So let's just get him ready for school. So I went through like a 6-week program, and that was tough because I didn't get to do the everyday off-season workout, with them. So like me, my teammate Leonard and Bennett and Will Green, we would be running on the side of a academic building where it was a hill.
Okay.
So we was doing our sprints and trying to do our stuff there. Every now and again, we could like sneak out and go run routes. And the first time I ran routes, BC's record holder, guy Dedrick DeWalt out of Chicago, about 5'9", get busy. So we like, all right, okay, all right. Will Green looking at the running backs like, all right, cool. That's gonna be big, bro, until we whatever. But he was like, yo, CD, we about to change this shit. We about to change this shit around. Because for people that may not know, we was fresh off that gambling scandal when BC couldn't have scholarships for a few years.
Whoa,
so
wow.
Pretty much like, yeah. So it was a gambling scandal where in the 90s you had players that was betting on games.
Yeah.
and then causing the effect of those games. Maybe I'm gonna miss a field goal. Maybe I'm gonna drop this pass. You know what I mean? So they got caught up, and instead of getting like the death sentence like how Rice got back in the day, because people don't understand. Like if you know college football in the '90s, yeah, SMU, yeah. SMU was everything that you saw Miami and I'm doing, and I'll get into that in a second. But everything that you see them doing, that's what SMU was doing. You know what I'm saying? So BC just basically got a slap on the wrist for some of the same shit a lot of schools was doing, whatever, right? Privilege, whatever you want to call it. So that's what happened. So we fresh off of that. So that was like the first class of like scholarship and 75 guys or better. And came down, ran some routes. Tim Hasselbeck was my quarterback. That's the youngest. Well, not the youngest, but out of the quarterbacks. Yeah, so he was the younger one that you see on ESPN all the time now. So he was my quarterback, and he always called me Big Boy. So he was like, "Hey, Big Boy, you gonna come out here and take somebody's spot?" You know what I mean? Because the first time we ran routes, I'm like, "Hey, I know post. That's my favorite route, and I know I catch in my hand." So I'm like, "Shit." So
what was something that surprised you that you felt like when you got there that you had to work on more, or you was like, "Wow."
Route running. It was the precision of route running, and to be very honest with you, Tim, yeah, right. But at the same time, his older brother was playing with the Packers at the time. Why is his name escaping my head right now? Tim Hasselbeck, and what was his older brother name that played with the Packers? Played with the Seahawks too.
I know you talking about.
Remember, he threw
like
that.
2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, it was a lot of them. Yeah, because his younger brother Nate played with me for a few years. Oh my goodness, yeah, Tim. What is his older brother's name? Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing.
I know which one you talking about. The one that played for the. You said the one that played for the Seahawks, right?
Yeah, he played with the Packers too. Because remember they had that legendary overtime game when he was like, they did the coin flip. He was like, "We're gonna get the ball. We're gonna score."
Yeah,
he threw that pick six.
Yeah, I'm about to say he wasn't all that though. He was
no. I mean, but he had a similar career to Jim Harbaugh, if you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, where he had his few little bright moments and stuff like that. But I mean, and he played up until he was 40. But
so
anyway,
that's a career in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would come back to Boston in the off season, and that's when I learned my shit. Because this thing was like, instead of running that 5-yard out where you plant your feet and all that, he was like, "Yo, your speed outs. But when you do the out, that's when you run your fastest, and that's when you create
your space
separation." Yep. Because he was like, "You have a lot of similarities to Antonio," and I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot." He was like, "Yeah," because basically I was backing up Brett Favre while Antonio. So he was like, "Yeah," it was like it's a lot of similarities between y'all. You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Wow." So the route running part, that was the biggest part, really, and knowing that goddamn playbook. I mean, you go from like a few little routes or knowing the number tree to this.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah,
that's a whole different ball game in itself. And I know some players went to the next level and had to go through some. Oh no, I'm not doing all this, and just a little bit of it, I'm going home. Make it feel like it's something else.
It's like those known unknowns, right? So you know what I mean. Like again, you could know the route tree, from 0 to 9, right? Everybody know 9 is a go route and all that old stuff, but now you got to know run plays and like your. So I ended up tearing my ACL my 3rd day of practice my freshman year. So crazy part was we do our testing. I got like the 3rd fastest 40 on the team. And they kind of looking like, damn, this dude was barely like working out and all that stuff. It was like, but when it's go time, it's an instinct thing, you're right.
Right.
And so tear my ACL, and my first game back was down at the Orange Bowl against Miami.
Tell us about that whole experience. It's the Orange Bowl.
That's probably the livest scene that you probably ever going to see in college football, because this is that same team that put 11 guys in the first round, right? So you got Clinton Portis, Dan Morgan,
Vilma.
the first Vilma. When I first got in the game, my very first play was a run block against the late great Sean Taylor, right? So again, I played at 226, a lot bigger than what you see now, right? So and Sean was about the same height stature, about 6 feet 6'1", 225.
Okay.
So we getting banged and stuff like that. Roscoe Parrish. I mean, all these guys on these teams, and I got to play against him on special teams.
Wow.
And I mean, you talking about somebody that was about this tall, and I mean, literally would run around you. Like, yo, it was like that scene in Rush Hour when Chris Tucker got kicked in the face. Like, which one of y'all did that? You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker ran around me on a punt return. I'm like, where the fuck this motherfucker go? I said, damn, just so quick with it. And I mean, you know, like I say, you know, whatever from a basketball, maybe playing at Maryland or UNC or, you know, Duke or something like that, but playing at the Orange Bowl, man, come on, man. Like it gets no better. And you got fans flipping you the bird the minute you get off the bus. Kids, they throwing shit at your bus, all that. You know what I'm saying? But then after the game, you know, the dreads come out and girls like, hey, call me, baby. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it was a different time. But you know, like I said, learning things about that whole experience and knowing the playbook and stuff like that, it's just a certain discipline that you gotta have. And toughest part about that was the ACL thing, yeah. But then also the guy who was my position coach had left right before I got to BC. So you got like a brand new position coach, and you know how that stuff goes. You know what I'm saying? When you go to a school and it's a whole new staff, they like, you are people's.
Oh, you really not they people. If you don't come in with their staff, they might like you depending on, or they may don't. But everybody want to bring their own crew in. Yeah, so how was that mentally for you? Like knowing, like, all right, man, I got to deal with this. Now I got to figure. Now I got to figure something else out. Now, like.
Yeah. So I mean, it you know, in the beginning, you know, with Coach Treadwell, it was a promise there, right? Mm-hmm. Because again, you look how small this world is and how relationships truly work. Right. You know what I'm saying? From the Augie Wobble stuff, the Coach Eaton stuff. I mean, Coach Eaton's son sold me this house that I'm in.
Okay.
And the sole reason why I say you're my realtor is because of relationships, right? Mm-hmm. So now when I go on my recruiting visit to BC, for some reason, they kind of knew what it was. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know everybody was on that was on BC's roster at the time.
Okay.
But they walk me into the training room, and it's this real humble, quiet guy taping his ankles or getting his ankles taped. But he putting a little something extra on there. So he's taping his ankles. And there's a receiver. They said, we want to introduce you to this guy. What's his name? Dennis Harding out of Lake Clifton. I said, yo, I didn't even know y'all had niggas up here, one. But two, you went to Lake.
Yeah.
You know, because they just gave me a bunch of BC shit. I'm like, where's my dumbbell shirt? Like, that was for real? And I mean, one of the most quiet, humble guys. And that's the one thing Coach London always said. He was like, man, you may get like 2 words a year out of him. You know what I'm saying? But but that's another, like, you know, Lake Clifton legendary story that you just don't hear about. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, Dennis. And he put up numbers in the Big East. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was the toughest thing to really get over, was just like the ACL thing was one thing. But then, like I said, I'm building all this rapport with Coach Treadwell. Mm-hmm. Weeks before I get there, he peaced out. Don't even tell me.
That's wild.
Like, that's dude. Like, you know what I mean? You could have let me know. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest with you, like, the second school I really wanted to look at was Kentucky, because they had that 5 wide receiver setting that big fat 300-pound quarterback.
Lorenzo was all right though. Big boy was all right. He could throw the ball.
And there's still SEC bumps. So I'm like, oh yeah, wait, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, that's just like a let's say back in the day, like in the 90s, that's like playing for like a UVA. You still in the ACC, you ain't got no chance of winning that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Like playing with Clemson or something at that time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I definitely get it. So what Did they treat you? Was it? Did they treat you any type of? Did they treat you different? Like trying to get you out the door, or was it one of those situations like, we want you, you can stay, but if you don't,
No, yeah, and this is definitely not throwing shade, but and so my father played at UMES, University of Maryland Eastern Shore back in the day, right? And Lord Taz know about this, you know what I'm saying, from when he was there. You see that, like Art Shell and all these NFL Hall of Famers that back in the 50s, 60s, they ain't had no choice, right? This is before the O.J. Simpson game when they played, I think it was Alabama, when he ran like laps around them pretty much. So all your top HBCU talent was going to, all your top black talent was going to HBCUs. You see what I'm saying? And that was just the way it was. So it's a funny thing. Life is a serious funny thing. I was trying to remember the question right quick. Because I was connecting that with something.
That the staff that you had, was they trying to push you out? Or was they saying like, you know what, you can stay, but if you go, we'll release you type deal? So
the stories that I always got from HBCUs was pretty much like, yo, we'll take your shit right now. You know what I'm saying? You can call your mama now. You'll be on the next Greyhound on the way home. Like, that was always like the threats I heard about HBCUs. I was just like, damn, like, why are you gonna like bring somebody on just to be like, I'm dangling in your face every single day? You know what I'm saying? It's the one thing BC made absolutely clear. It's like, when you sign this letter of intent, you're ours for 4 years. 4 years.
Now, see, that's love right there. So I understand you standing. That's love, because people, a scholarship is only 1 year. It's only 1 year. When they say, oh, we come on, and you gonna do the next 4 years, you gonna sign a contract is for a year. It's up to them to renew that contract. So you getting messing up your knee, and they still honored that. That was cool. I can't. I mean, that was.
Man, listen. When I verbally committed to BC, Coach London literally looked at my parents and said, "Your son just saved you $250,000." Now, mind you, this is in '98 when he said that.
Right.
So college tuition now at BC, that's like buying a Range or a C class every year. That's at least 45. That's at least 45,000. That's like a base model luxury car every year.
Is BC that's a Catholic school also?
Yeah. So yes, that's a Jesuit university, which is why the rivalry between us and Notre Dame is about as legendary as it gets. Yeah, that was the other funny thing I learned about college football too. Was like, you look at that stadium, yo, like the seats there are like this. Like, you can't be at a Notre Dame game, be like, yay, like that. If you do this, you're going to hit about 2 people. Definitely like this. Those are the smallest seats I've ever seen in my life, man, ever.
They going to make sure they get the people up in there.
Now,
Now, hold up, though. Before we get up out of here, Chris, I want you to tell the people, do you ever feel like you won't get back up there and coach?
Oof. The opportunities have always been there, right? So, I mean, even now, shit. Somebody was asking me about that not too long ago, because, like, all right, let's say BC teammates. I got one Brian Flores, first and foremost. That was my teammate. That's my man, head coach for the Dolphins, right?
Okay.
And so we're on a text line, 8 or 9 of us cracking jokes every single day, right? Okay. Where it's like, I'm like, I be feeling bad, like, damn, I know he had to silence the chat, right? Because I'm like, yo, this motherfucker is cool. He trying to get into the playoffs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he showed love, man, when they had their first game against the Ravens. He had us, down to support him and stuff like that. He's like, yo, CV, don't wear no Raven shit up in here, man. Cool, I got you, baby. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, just countless guys. Another one of my guys, hopefully he'll be one of the first black GMs. He's a guy, Dewan Daniels. He's the executive.
That'd be big too.
Right. And so I really enjoyed their success. My man Al Washington, that's he came under me at BC. He's over at Ohio State, with Ryan Day and all them guys who was all on my A about recruiting Tavon Austin back in the day. So I mean, I really just enjoy that success from those guys. And shout out to one of my day ones I still rap to this day, my man Troy Bell. That was my roommate at BC.
Okay.
That's my guy 1000%. You know what
Man,
I'm
you
saying?
talk to Troy. Tell Troy I want that interview, man. He was a whole bucket too.
Yo, I mean, them battles between him and Mo when he's at St. John's. I mean, I was right there looking at it, man.
That's crazy.
KB too. KB was talking cash shit to them, like, yo, I'm about to hit this game winner. Swish. I said, damn. And Fest too, you know what I'm saying? Fest too, because he remember, he was like, yo, the homie Lyles is good, man. Lyles is all right. You know what I'm saying? Definitely wish that would have worked out like for the 4 years at West Virginia. But as far as the coaching thing, I just enjoy it through other people now. You know what I mean? Because father growing up seeing all that kind of thing. It's a lot of time away from your family and everything. So I enjoy other people's success. You know what I mean?
Last question. What do you think? No, last two questions, and I'll let you get up out of here. As far as where the game at today, what do you think? As far as the athletes and just the state of the game, how you feel about it? On all levels.
Yeah,
I know that's
I paused on. No, that's good. I paused on the football thing for a minute because of the whole science of it, right? A friend of mine took me to a play. I thought she was asking me out. And, she was like, it's a play. Mm-hmm. I got some tickets for it. Nobody wants to go. And I was like, it must be something football related. She was like, yeah. And this is around the time when the Will Smith movie came out, Concussion. That was a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the play that was right here at the joint on Calvert Street, the big playhouse over there, they showed the DNA of how when you get a concussion, how your DNA like detaches like this. And when it reattaches, it doesn't reattach to the same thing, just like when you break a bone. You know what I'm saying? It reattaches to anything else.
Okay.
And the more that happens, so when you and I was growing up, you just got your belt rung. All right, a few plays, get your ass back in the game. But then 30, 40 years later, you go out to grab a bite to eat, and you're like, all right, I'm about to go home right quick. Fuck, where's home?
Yeah.
FedEx guy show up to your door like, here you go, sign here. And you like, oh shit, what's my name? What the fuck? I've already lost 5 teammates from BC. 5. Lost from brain cancer. 2, it's a kind of thing like don't really want to call it, know it, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? But Frank Chamberlain, he was with the Tennessee Titans. He passed brain cancer, but I mean, it's we used to say football is your DOC, that's your drug of choice. You know what I'm saying? So I have a very different perspective on it when it comes down to it, especially what they do with the little kids, and I'm like, their bodies ain't quite developed yet. So if a guy picks up football around 10th, 11th grade and he ends up being whatever, it's like good. There's less wear and tear on his body and all that stuff. As far as like the pro level and what I've seen and stuff like that, I know Booger McFarland had his little thing the other day. I just kind of wish that from a mentality standpoint, people would just connect with those young guys saying, yo, your life is about to change. Because I've seen
I didn't like it. Mm-hmm. I ain't like him say, I didn't like the comment. I know where he was going with it, but when he was saying like the black players, all black players, and this was after you already said this is what 80-something% lead,
70%, yeah, with black.
Don't. He could have been more responsible than what he was, because when he say things like that, people on the outside look at the whole everybody. They ain't separating people. So yeah, I was kind of disappointed with his comment.
I told my guys last night. You know what I'm saying? I think that was that Uncle Ruckus from Boondocks where he just had that moment where he was trying to rile the congregation up. And there was a real throwback mentality. Like, that's what's wrong with you kids today. Like that kind of thing. And I was like, he's still invited to the cookout. He may have to sit in the corner for a few minutes. It was like, all right, you come on back. But and you could tell Randy Moss, I felt the worst for him because Randy Moss was looking at him like, nigga, what in the fuck are you saying?
Yeah.
Randy Moss is just looking at him like, because Randy Moss sitting there with two headlights, you know, in his ears already. So he's sitting there like, I was a part of that Mitchell and Ness era too, nigga. Like, what you trying to say?
Yeah.
He got hella kids and shit. So he's sitting there like, no. But you know, it's from a pro level, you know, with the technology and the way they're able to develop their bodies. The speed and velocity is so much more dangerous out there now. But other than that, man, I would really try to look at you know, certain laws and say like, can we negotiate like big contracts earlier? Right? Because you know, once your rookie contract, and then all of a sudden now you want the 80-90 million, and then you pull a Humphreys or you pull a something else, you get hurt all the time. You pull what's the cornerback for the Ravens? Been hurt all the damn time.
Peterson.
No, the one who came a few years ago. Oh my gosh, he's hurt all the time. It's like all the big games, he's always been hurt all the time. I can't remember his name. But yeah, I would try to just do that and try to secure that bag early because this game is not guaranteed. Like that not for long shit is real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would say about the game, man. You know, and there's other sports too, but you know.
It is now. Listen here. We're gonna end this interview, and I appreciate it, but we still got a lot to talk about. Like I said, we having a show. The show will be out. Basketball and the football show will be out in January. However, you can jump on both sides. You know what I'm saying? And you just ain't no football guy. You ain't no basketball guy. So I'm calling you again, Chris, to jump on because I think you got a lot more to say about that about the football and the state of it, and as far as Pop Warner and high school, where it's going and where it's at right now. And I want to get into, we ain't talking about the St. Francis. How you feel about, they got Baltimore on the national map right now. I love it. I do, as far as football. However, there's always two sides to a coin. You know what I'm saying? And we talking about the players, as far as players, them recruiting players out of state, bringing them here and taking opportunities from the players that was here. I don't have a problem with that. But this is a conversation. This is a conversation. These things that I hear, all about the curriculum. But that's neither here or there, because that's either, I don't know about that. But these are questions that will be thrown around on the show. So, like, again, thank you, Chris. Is there anything you'd like to say before we get up out of here?
And I first of all, you know, like I said before, man, just shout out to you for this whole thing. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've been texting these clips and things of friends for months now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, yo, Tag's like really doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a beautiful thing to celebrate and give people flowers like that. Like, you know,
right.
Like I said, when I see Fug jump on, I still call him Irvington's finest to this day. Like, yo, Irvington's finest, baby. You know what I'm saying? And you know, just real thankful and appreciative for this life and people I met like you. You know what I'm saying? That made this possible. So whenever that new platform comes up, I'll jump up on there, man, and support it, you know, however I can. And like I said, I'm just thankful, man. Just thankful. Like I said, talking to people like Gerald and, you know, just people that made me look at Dunbar, you know, like, wow, this is, you know, being able to say, you know, like, you know, Uncle Flaky, you know what I'm saying, Uncle Pete, you know what I'm saying, you know, Coach Pompey, like that kind of thing, you know, is just such a full circle, just thing of love, man. So I just appreciate it. And I'm always here, bro. You know that.
Already.
Yes, sir.
Live from Taz TV. We over and out. Holla.